I'd been a client of Mr. Dan Morris since 1994. My husband died suddenly with a heart attack in 1993, and we owned a property in Glendale, Arizona, but we were employed and lived in California. So I came to find out that in order to be able to sell that property, I had to find myself a good attorney, and Mr. Dan Morris was recommended. So I called him immediately, and he knew exactly what I was talking about and helped me out at that particular time to be able to sell the property, even though I lived in California. So that was my first encounter. And then moving on over the years, I had Dan. When I subsequently moved to Arizona, I contacted Mr. Morris again and came in and had a trust drawn up. Since I was a widow with no children, and I just found it invaluable to have everything spelled out, so upon my death, everything can be handled smoothly. My sister, who was younger than I am, and her husband moved to Arizona. They also had no children. So as time went on, my sister became ill with Alzheimer's disease. It became very apparent to me, but her husband, who was quite a bit older, refused to even accept that or even to believe it. So eventually, through her illness, and she became pretty erratic, he finally said to me one day, "I can't deal with her." And I said, "Do you want me to become involved?" And he said, "Yes." So one of my first assignments was to get both of them over to visit with Dan Morris and get all their legal work in proper order. Subsequently, my dear sister, who has passed away last year, had to be hospitalized in psychiatric facilities on a couple of occasions, and I would not have been able to have that happen without the proper legal documents, not only for the legal purposes, but for the medical purposes and the financial purposes. So I can't stress enough how well equipped Dan Morris's group has been on all areas, and has brought a lot of relief to me. Otherwise, I would have been tied up in court cases and not been able to provide the best care on their behalf. So again, I say, if you need good legal counsel, contact Morris, Hall, and Kinghorn. Thank you very much.